Hey everybody, Lucky Lou here on LouTube. That's right, I'm Lucky Lou and this is my channel that I've dubbed LouTube on YouTube. I have no idea, this is like my second video, so either way I'm Lucky Lou and this is Lucky LouTube or LouTube, whatever we're gonna settle on here. But the reason for my video today is just going through the bullshit headlines out there that are just gonna get you going this way and that way and pump you up. Let's cruise by Fox News here real quick. Top headline, Harris flip-flops on a series of major policies as she dodges questions from reporters for weeks. Well, big bleeping fucking deal. How about that? Nobody cares. What in the world is that going to do for anybody? Don't do nothing for me. Don't pay my bills. Let's see the next one. Oh, jeez, what do you know? Matthew Perry, Friends star. If you watch that show, back in the day, I might have watched one or two episodes, and I was like, this is totally too lame for me, so I didn't watch it anymore. In fact, I stopped watching TV actually before this. I think I might have watched this with a friend or two or something like that, but, you know, whatever. Gee, God, a sitcom star from the 1990s has a drug habit and overdosed and died. That's newsworthy. You better believe it. Yeah, why? I don't know. I don't care. I mean, washed up 90s sitcom star overdosed on ketamine and drowned in his bathtub. I think that's probably a more accurate headline for him, but, you know, no, nothing against Matthew Perry. I hope he dived a saved man, because otherwise he went from hot tub to a hot lake of hell. And that's just how it is. Let's see, what's the next one on faux news here? FAUX News. American Society of Plastic Surgeons breaks ranks on transgender care for minors. Oh my God, this has got to be clickbait. Let's see. American Society of Plastic Surgeons breaks consensus of medical establishment on transgender care. The group said there is no considerable uncertainty as to the long-term efficacy for the use of chest and genital surgical interventions. There is considerable, well, no shit. I think we could all be on the board, the American Board of Plastic Surgeons, because common sense is just what they've come to. So, I don't know. It didn't take a genius to figure that one out, but apparently there's no geniuses on the American Society of Plastic Surgeons to figure that one. Well, let's go to the next website that's going to flip everybody out. We'll go to Breitbart. Yes, Breitbart News. It's got to be on the other side. I mean, come on. Cam raids. Harris to announce Soviet-style food price controls under guise of gouging ban. Kamalanamic's worst inflation record in decades. Okay. Doctor, drug dealers arrested in Matthew Perry ketamine death. Oh, boy. I think they're starting to work together here. Let's see. Let's go to CNN.com. What do you know? Multiple arrests made in connection to Matthew Perry where he died. Oh, now he's only a friend to the Undertaker. Poor guy. And really, you know, hopefully he died a saved man, because it didn't go well for him after he opened those peeps up again. But what's Project 2025? Co-author discusses work in hidden camera video. Okay, I have no idea what Project 2025 is. I've not heard about it. Let's look up that. It's got to be on CNN, so you know it's going to be some kind of weird bullshit. I guess I'll actually type in what the hell. Project 2025. Alright. Also known as the 2025 presidential So our presidents will be transitioning in office? What the hell? So Kamala will become a man if she's not already? Or if Trump gets in, he'll become Ivana? I mean, I've seen the two of them. Don's a little big in the hips, but, you know. Maybe I should delve deeper in this. Because I don't think, well, maybe it is. There's a political initiative published by the Heritage Foundation, that sounds racist, that aims to promote conservative and, oh, so it is racist, completely racist. It's got to be, because it's got conservatives in there, right-wingers, man. That's using them buzzwords. You know, that's like left-leaning liberal. Those are dangerous people. We can label them. Well, I'm glad that I actually looked this up now that I've heard about Project 2025 and know that it's a transitional thing for the presidents to know that they're not going to be transitioning to their opposite sex. No, wait. How do you say that in current terminology? Change to the opposite sex assigned at birth. Oh, they've got a website. Let's go. We got to go to there, don't we? Building for conservative victory through policy, personnel, and training. Get the facts. Now, if you're like me at all, anytime that somebody says get the facts or they're going to give you the facts, it just seems to be a fact that you're not going to get any facts. And that's just the fact. Okay, so that is, I guess we got to click on more shit because we just can't be truthful about it straight up on the first page. What do you know? I mean, we couldn't get through the first freaking page where they would just tell you what's on it before you had to click on other bullshit. The left has spent millions fear-mongering about Project 2025. Well, geez Louise, you think that wasn't just everybody here? The left fear-mongers about the right fear-mongers about the left, and in the meantime, you don't know which way is going, which way is coming. Take your stand. Are you pro-Ukrainian? Are you pro-Russian? Did you get any of your emergency survival food yet? You stock up on gold and silver and what else is flying around out there now? Emergency water. Because, it's never going to fall out of the sky. And, yeah. Well, let's, I don't know. I actually don't go to a whole lot of websites or whatever. I just got the hell out of all this bullshit back in the day. I didn't, it become, I don't know, maybe sometime around, for myself personally, I think it was sometime around, I started to have my suspicions about everything going on. I think probably in the early 90s, but I figured it was just the commercials and stuff on TV that were really bothering me a lot, so I just quit watching. And then, not immediately after the early 90s, but, kind of on the, just in terms of thinking, September 11th happened. I mean, there were all kinds of things that kind of happened that were real head scratchers for me anyway. Ruby Ridge was a big deal, I thought. Waco was a huge deal, I thought. The Oklahoma City bombing was a huge deal. The Oklahoma City bombing actually was a huge deal for me. I actually at one time had met Terry Nichols and Timothy McVeigh at a restaurant. Not because I wanted to or seen them. I at the time lived in and around southeast Michigan, and there was a restaurant that I went to quite a few times, and you got to know some of the guys in there. Anyway, the guy involved was a full-on libertarian, and he brought these guys to speak at the restaurant just to talk about different things, and they were largely just kind of recruiting for the Michigan militia at the time. They weren't necessarily like in-your-face anti-government or any kind of thing like that. I don't recall there being any kind of talk about Ruby Ridge or any of those other things that were on their mind. But nevertheless, I do recall running into him, and it just surprised me. I don't know, it was probably about a year or so after that they bombed the Oklahoma City, the Mira Federal Building in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. But I don't, I wonder about that too sometimes. But, that's just me, and I'm not going to go down that whole kind of weird conspiracy thing because I think a lot of that is just meant to have you waste your time and get you away from the things that are really important. And so, I'm not sophisticated enough to show you all the web pages I just went through and talked to you about yet. I got to figure out how to edit those kind of videos. I'm just new to all this. But the thrust of the video really is to just kind of get out there and try and help you see the things that are going on and help you kind of drown out the extra insane voices that you don't need to tune into and you don't need to be worried about. I don't know where you live specifically, but certainly if you look across your local news channels, which I do look at mine just to see what's going on in the area, there's always some kind of breaking news, you know, and it's always that now. You know, the things that should truly be kind of breaking news or jilt you, it just doesn't. That's how they get into your head with things. They get stuff past you. You know, it's amazing. We pulled out of Afghanistan now a couple of years ago, and it was a real shit show. Nothing's ever come of it. Nobody ever talks about it. And life just goes on. So what does all that mean then? Well, one of the things that it means is that it does not matter who you elect, things are not going to change for a positive here in this country. Now, regardless of whether or not you feel like Trump is a good guy or Trump is a bad guy or you fall somewhere in between there, I guess I just have to bust your kind of... I guess I just have to bust your bubble on Trump. Trump is not a savior. He's not the Mashiach. He's nowhere near close to it. I think that Trump, as what he believes to be the best in mind for the country, and arguably it may be. I really don't know. I liked candidate Trump back when he was running the first time, but his presidency really left me kind of wanting, we'll say, to put it politely. And, you know, regardless of how you feel about the second election, I don't think that he actually did enough to get elected a second time around. And I know that's really kind of counterintuitive for anybody that's on the right. And the reason why I say that is because, and as much as he chanted about draining the swamp, he let quite a bit of the swamp into his administration. And that was plain for all to see. And there were a lot of other missteps with him. So, you know, that all added up. And, you know, frankly, as the president of the United States, I expected him to put on the big boy pants and really go to war with the government, so to speak, and getting stuff straightened out. And he never did. He let them run roughshod over him. And, of course, that was, again, because of the people that he put in around him. So the swamp, instead of being drained, they drained him and his administration, his 4 years. And now a lot of people on the right want to vote for Trump again, but I ask you why? He doesn't have the ability to get anything done. And the reason why is because the Republicans who you're voting for in office with him will not help him out, will not get anything done, and they're just going to do the same thing they did in his first administration, which is largely to block what the American people want. You figure for the first 2 years of Trump's presidency, he had the majority in both the House and the Senate, and yet they still couldn't get anything done. So now, if he's elected again, he's going to be called something else. And it's a term that we really haven't used, or that I've heard used anyways, for a long time, and that's called a lame duck. Lame duck Don. And the reason why he's going to be a lame duck is because he has no incentive to get anything done, because he's not looking at another 4 years. He's looking at vacation time. You know, one of the things that happens with the presidents, all the presidents that do 2 terms, man, the first 4 years is the really serious years, and then the next 4 years is the American taxpayer vacation and some other stuff that goes on. I'm not saying he is completely useless for those 4 years. In fact, I would actually say he's completely useless for the entire term of his office, considering how the country has gone over the last 100 or so years, we'll say. But that being said, it's easy to get pumped left or right. You know, oh my God, they're going to elect Trump, send Kamala some money now. As man, I tell you what, the liquor bill on that lady, So they're doing their thing, and Trump's doing his thing, and get the base fired up, get them all riled up and mean and nasty and ready to go and donate, 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 get in, and then not do a damn thing. That's what all they've been doing. That's all they do. So we know Don is going to be lame duck Don, and what can you do about it? Really, nothing. So what can you do? Well, you can have some extra water, extra food, extra money for rent or whatever expenses you got coming up. I got news for you. Back in the days when the country was relatively stable and going well, you still needed to have all that stuff. So don't feel rushed to go out and buy it now. Because while it matters, it's always mattered. And so I think you should always work to improve your position. You don't have to do it within this week. You know what I mean? I just have to say, it's amazing to see what this world has come to, what this country has come to. If you're out there wondering, hey, okay, Lou, what's it going to take to really get this country to turn around? I've got the answer for you, and it's not in Trump, it's not in Kamala, it's not in Biden, it's not in anybody on the right or anybody on the left or anybody in the middle. It's none of that. The only way this country is ever going to get right is to turn back to God. That's all. Not just God, the Christian God, the real God, the one true God. Once America gets back to that, right, then the blessings will be on this country again. And you can see it plainly, okay? Let's see. I'm going to look up when Roe v. Wade was. Okay, so that was 1973. January 22nd, 1973 is when Roe was put into law, so to speak. And since 1973, the American dollar, the economy, the morality of this country have all gone through the toilet. Every bit of it. So you tell me, is it God's wrath, God's judgment getting at the country? I think it's plain to see. There's a certain popular flag that come out from about then too, using God's colors, flying God's colors, and in the face of God. And as that perversion of God's flag is embraced in this country, and then tried to be spread throughout the rest of the world in those ways, I don't know. Maybe that's where a September 11th attack comes from, really. Or a Waco. Waco, that was interesting. Waco, wake up. Right? Wake. I don't know, man. I mean, does it bother anybody at all that Trump brought Bill Barr into his administration as the Attorney General, and no doubt qualified? Bill Barr was also the same attorney who got the guys who shot the woman, and the children there at Ruby Ridge off of any potential charges. That bother anybody? It doesn't bother me, and I'll tell you why. It's to be expected. That's the country that we live in now. That's the kind of things you need to expect. So, where to go from here? All I can tell you is turn back towards God. Take a hold of your family and just turn back towards God. You do that, and everything's going to be just fine. But I don't think this country's going to do that. I don't think this country's going to do that, though. I think this country wants to be the whore of Babylon, and that's what it's playing out. And it's going to get played like a whore of Babylon. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm Lucky Lou, and this is Lucky Lou Tube. I'll be back soon. This is just me kind of ranting and raving and whatever, trying to figure out all this YouTube thing. And where to post videos and stuff like that. So I'll see you guys next time. Comment, rate, subscribe, all that. Share me on the other social media platforms, if you will. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.